everyone. This is my latest obsession. I am in color therapy mode, and I came across this and decided to try it. And I can't believe how satisfying doing this has been. So I wasn't going to share it, but it's been really a lifesaver for me, and I haven't gotten very far in it. But I thought I would show my process a little bit, maybe inspire others, because it is really satisfying. I came across Kellee Wynne here on YouTube. She's got a mini course on how to do this, and that's how I started. I was watching her, and I did her little mini course, and I did this side. And it took me a long time to do it. And I was fiddling. You know, I love to fiddle with stuff. And I let myself fiddle and took the pressure off, and I absolutely loved it. I'm hooked. I'm hooked on doing it. And so I'm here to suggest to anybody who might be stuck or might need a little something new in their life, this is the best thing ever. Just absolutely love it. So I did this side the way the mini course went, and I was so satisfied at the end that I decided I was going to do the other side as well. And I had so much fun with it. This is just a regular, not very expensive mixed media, 11 inches by 8.5 inches. It's just, I don't even know what the weight is. It's not very thick paper. If you were to do something like this, you know, maybe mixed media paper would be better. This is what I had. This is what I'm using. I had some other stuff in it, and after I did the first page, tore everything else out and said, I'm going to do the whole thing in this grid journaling. And so I really liked the way she started out doing all of her things, and then it inspired me to think about all the other supplies that I have, the watercolors and the acrylic paints, the acrylic inks, pens and markers, and the gelatos and the soft pastels and the water-soluble pencils, all those things that I have, ink pads and all that stuff. And I thought, you know what? I would really like to get my stuff out that I've had for years that I haven't even looked at since before the pandemic. And just mess around with some grid journaling. And so this was the first page where I was inspired to get my supplies out, start using the paper that I have, and start messing around with some color schemes. So this one is really simple because I took it to the next level. I wanted to use my art supplies, get everything out. So this, I painted the squares with this metallic, well, I chose 5 different colors of metallic watercolor, and spent probably 2 hours while watching TV just painting randomly in each square these 5 different colors. And so to back up a little bit, I do make the squares ahead of time. I have a little 2-inch, these are 2-inch squares. I have a little 2-inch marker thing that I just kind of guesstimate. They're not evenly spaced. If you look at them, they're not measured out. I just write around the square. And I also have this piece of plastic packaging that I cut a 2-inch square out of so I can draw the square around, and I can also lay it down and do stamping or whatever. I'm not getting stamping or paint or whatever on anything else. So those are the tools that I am using for this. But for this one, it was such a simple thing. I took this, I had a little piece of this scrapbook paper that had these dots on it. Dark green, burnt orange, light green, and I used that as my inspiration. And I went to my little scraps and I pulled out anything that matched up to that piece of scrapbook paper. And then I went to my watercolors and found this metallic one and chose 5 colors that went with the scrapbook paper. So I started out painting the little squares with the various 5 colors of watercolor, let that dry overnight, and then came back the next day with my little pile of these little scraps. And if you look at a single square, let's look at this one. It is very, very simple. It's metallic watercolor on the base of the square, 1 piece of green grit bit, a collage bit. I stamped one of my handmade stamps over it and then put another piece of collage on top of it. 2 pieces of collage, 1 stamp, and 1 little bit of watercolor. That's all it is. And most all of these are 2 or 3 pieces of collage, some watercolor underneath, and a handmade stamp. They're that simple. But look how cool they look all together. I think maybe that's what I like. I like the collection of them all together. All these different little bits that went together because they were matched together with 1 piece of scrapbook paper. And this set my heart soaring to no end. I was absolutely hooked. I'm like, okay, what else can I use? Let me go to my favorite. I love the patterns on security envelopes. Love them. And thought, you know what, I'm going to see if I can find some dark ones, some medium ones, some light ones, and let me just fill in the squares with security envelopes. Originally, I had planned on putting purple on top, but as I was fiddling with the little pieces of purple, it just didn't sing. It just didn't do it for me. And I replaced it with some red bits, and I absolutely love it. So this is all just collage. And then I went with this color scheme. And I did some color mixing as I wanted this plum color. And so I mixed the plum color finally, and if you see my color therapy video, you can see the various purples that I had to work with, and I wanted this exact shade. I finally got it, and I painted on some I blocked, and some I just did a little bit of splattering. I put a little bit on each square, and then I decided to play around with my spirograph on a piece of paper, purple paper here. So I spent a little while playing with the spirograph, and I pulled out some green paper, some green check paper, and some purple washi tape, and collaged those bits on top of my paint. I also have this see-through paper too, but not very much. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces of paper and washi tape. That's all there is to it. But I did it in different ways, and it's so much fun. So this is the latest one I did, and I wanted to get out my supplies, and so this one is made with this weird green ink pad, some gelato, some Portfolio oil pastel, this is water soluble, and some soft pastels, a big pen in blue, and a pencil. And I spent quite a bit of time just fiddling around, put the ink pad down in some places first, did some gelato in some places, some of the soft pastel, blended that in with my finger, and just messed around. Added some pencil scribbles, some pen scribbles, and it's not done yet. It doesn't feel finished, but it's an interesting color scheme. And so I'm thinking, I've got these tickets with a little bit of red, and I am thinking that I might add a little bit of collage to the squares to finish them up. So I'm still working on this, but this has been so much fun. I love this. And for those of you who haven't seen my color therapy video, this is the reason I was putting together color schemes. So these are all potential pages for my grid journal. I want a certain color scheme, so I'm collecting painted papers, fancy papers, mulberry papers or rice paper, embossed papers, whatever, pieces of magazine, some doodles, all kinds of stuff. And I'm sorting them out in color schemes so that when I'm ready to do the next page, I have colors all ready to go. I can decide what mood I'm in and just go for it. Here's some pinks. So I have one piece of paper that's inspiring, and then I add things to it, and then I have my collection all ready to go. Here's some green, and these are all really strange greens. They really don't go together, but for some reason I just love the idea of putting those weird greens together. All these papers inspired some kind of color combinations, either a single color or a couple, 2 or 3. This one's 2 colors. Some of them are 3. But I'm ready to go when I have the time. Everything is all set, and I have been sorting out my papers into these little color schemes, so that's been very inspiring for me as well. It's been nice to get out my supplies that I haven't used in years, and it's been fun to use some tools that I have, stencils and stamps that I haven't used in years as well, and come up with some different patterns to use together. Here's some under paper, some drop paper. I just love all the different colors, and I love how simple it is. And so these are all ready to go. Look how cool that one is. I'm excited to start a new one. It is so relaxing to do this and so satisfying. I'm not really doing something to get it finished, which has been a part of my problem, I think. I'm doing it just to enjoy the process and to get reacquainted with all my supplies and tools that I've had forever and really need to start using again. So I encourage you to look into it. Try it out. If you don't like it, you don't like it. But I was hooked from the very beginning. So satisfying, so much fun, so relaxing. And I love the fact that I'm using up stuff that I've had forever and making me paint up some new papers and stuff. This is a new one. It's a nail polish on this weird green. Love that. And I will be excited to start using it with this color combination. So I've had a whole lot of fun just sorting out colors. Here was my inspiration, and here are the things that went with it. Love it. It's been an eye-opener for me. Here's one, a piece of paper that I've had painted forever, and it's two-sided. Love this. So I went into my paper stash, scrapbook paper and handmade papers and painted papers, whatever I had, and found things that matched it, that went with it. Some plain, because you need some plain stuff, some dark stuff, and then I have a whole lot of stuff to use with this one. Then the other side was completely different, and I don't know, it's big enough I can probably use it for both. So then I found all this stuff to go with this painted paper. So this one is a 2-for-1, basically. I have to remember that it's two-sided. So that has been what I have been doing. When I have a chance, I'm sorting out my papers, looking for new color combinations, having a lot of fun with color therapy, and experimenting with putting different colors together, experimenting with color as in I'm mixing certain colors. I don't have that plum purple, so I need to figure out how to make this exact plum purple that I want. Some yarn, some velvet paper, and having a whole lot of fun with the whole thing. I recommend it highly. Check out the link in the description box below. It's time that we all have a little bit of fun. Thanks for watching.